In this world, there are creatures you've never seen, never touched, and yet they haunt our nightmares. They hide in forests, beneath oceans, or inside ancient legends too strange to forget. Some say they're real, others call them myths. But whether truth or imagination, just thinking about them sends chills down the spine. Join World Mysteries as we uncover the 13 most terrifying creatures on Earth. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling discoveries. 1. The Dover Demon, a deformed shadow haunting a quiet town. On the nights of April 21st and 22nd, 1977, in the small town of Dover, Massachusetts, a strange creature was seen not once, but 3 times. Its sudden appearance sent shockwaves through the local community. What was it? An alien life form? Or perhaps the result of a secret scientific experiment gone wrong? Many theories emerged, yet none could explain the terrifying entity with certainty. Eyewitnesses described the creature as having an abnormally large head, shaped like a stretched-out watermelon. Its glowing orange eyes pierced through the darkness, set in a face disturbingly devoid of a nose, ears, or mouth. Its limbs were long and spindly, arms like dangling ropes, and legs as thin as brittle twigs. It had no fur, only a rough, sandpaper-like skin covered in a strange brownish-gray hue. But the most chilling part was the sound it made. A horrifying screech, like a hawk's cry blended with the hiss of a serpent, echoed into the still night air. The Dover Demon stood barely 3 feet tall, but what it left behind was an unforgettable sense of dread. 2. The Jersey Devil, the sinister shadow of Pine Barrens. Deep within the dark, tangled woods of Pine Barrens in southern New Jersey lurks a creature born of nightmare and legend, the Jersey Devil. Since the early 1800s, terrifying tales of this beast have haunted the region, echoing through generations like a chilling whisper in the trees. Eyewitnesses describe it as a bizarre, 2-legged monster with razor-sharp claws, bat-like wings, and a grotesque head resembling that of a horse, a nightmarish fusion of demon and beast. Its origin, a dark tale surrounding a local woman known as Mother Leeds. According to legend, on the night she gave birth to her 13th child, she cursed the baby in a moment of despair, exclaiming, "Let it be the devil." What happened next is the stuff of horror. Moments after birth, the child transformed before everyone's eyes, sprouting wings, claws, and a forked tail before screeching and flying off into the moonlit sky, vanishing into the woods beyond. Since that fateful night, the Jersey Devil has become a symbol of fear. It's said to destroy crops, leave behind strange footprints, and unleash blood-curdling screams that echo across the desolate marshlands. In the early 1900s, a wave of panic swept across New Jersey and neighboring states as hundreds claimed to have seen the creature. Eerie hoofprints, strange shrieks in the night, and sightings that defied explanation left people terrified and desperate for answers. But one question still remains. Is the Jersey Devil a real creature, or simply a legend carved into the shadows of the forest? 3. The Flatwoods Monster, crimson eyes in the night skies of West Virginia. On the night of September 12, 1952, in the quiet town of Flatwoods, Braxton County, West Virginia, something unearthly descended. Witnesses reported seeing a strange being, some claiming it floated in the air. Others swore it stood motionless on the ground, silently watching everything around it. That being would come to be known as the Flatwoods Monster. And it defied every known law of nature. According to eyewitnesses, it stood at least 10 feet tall, towering, and ominous. Its face glowed with an eerie red light, while its body shimmered with a cold, metallic green. The head, heart-shaped, or like the ace of spades, rising into a sharp peak, with 2 massive, glowing eyes that clearly weren't human. Some say a single look into those eyes was enough to paralyze you with fear. Its form resembled a human, but it wore what looked like a long, dark, cloak-like outfit, almost like a dress. Some insisted it had no arms. Others described stubby, thick limbs ending in long, claw-like fingers, sharp, curved, and unnatural. Its appearance was brief, but the impact was unforgettable. Was the Flatwoods Monster a visitor from another world, or a terrifying glimpse into realms we were never meant to see? 4. The Owlman, the winged shadow over Cornwall. In April 1976, in the quiet village of Monon, Cornwall, England, a strange and terrifying creature was first reported. Witnesses called it the Owlman. On the night of April 17, 1976, The creature was spotted hovering above the old Monon church tower. It didn't just fly, it floated, silently, as if observing from above. Witnesses were frozen in fear as they described its grotesque inhuman face and glowing red eyes staring down from the darkness. From that moment until August 1978, sightings spread across the surrounding area. People described a man-sized owl-like figure with long, pointed ears, crimson eyes that pierced through the night, and sharp black claws like twisted iron pincers. Its body was cloaked in thick, gray feathers, and when it opened its massive wings, it seemed to blot out the sky. The resemblance to the infamous Mothman was uncanny, both in appearance and in the unsettling aura they carried. What's even more disturbing is that, just like with Mothman, strange things happened before the Owlman's arrival. Reports of unidentified flying objects, bizarre lights in the sky, and shadowy figures moving in the woods had already begun to surface in the weeks leading up to the sightings. Coincidence or a warning? So what is the Owlman? An alien being? A supernatural omen? Or something far darker watching from the skies above? 5. The Lizard Man of Scariest Swamp, the nightmare lurking in southern waters. Deep within the murky swamps surrounding the town of Lee in South Carolina, a terrifying creature is said to dwell, part man, part reptile. Locals call it the Lizard Man of Scariest Swamp. The first recorded sighting occurred on June 29, 1988. Witnesses described a shocking figure, standing over 7 feet tall, walking upright like a human, but with glistening green scales covering its entire body and glowing red eyes that pierced through the darkness like burning coals. Its hands and feet were unlike anything known to science, each with only 3 thick digits, ending in circular pads, almost like suck cups. These bizarre features allowed it to climb walls and ceilings with ease, moving like a predator from another world. But perhaps the most chilling detail? Its unnatural strength. Reports began to surface of mangled vehicles, crushed metal, and shattered windows, as if something immensely powerful had lashed out. One witness even claimed the creature threw a car several feet across the ground with terrifying ease. So what is this being? A mutant? An alien castaway? Or a guardian of the swamp's deepest secrets? Number 6. The Bunyip, Phantom of the Deep in Australian legend. To those born and raised in Australia, the name Bunyip is more than familiar. It's not just a mythical creature, it's a living ghost woven into the ancient legends of the Aboriginal people. The Bunyip is said to dwell in the deep, hidden places of the land, shadowy swamps, dark riverbeds, and bottomless waterholes that few dare approach. Descriptions of the Bunyip vary wildly, and perhaps that's what makes it so terrifying. Everyone who's seen it remembers it differently. Some say it resembles a massive starfish crawling on land. Others describe it as a black-furred dog with a horse's tail, webbed feet, sharp tusks like a hippopotamus, and either horns or a duck-like bill. It's as if every nightmare was stitched together into a single, monstrous form. An 1845 newspaper article once offered this chilling description. The Bunyip appears as a horrifying blend of bird and crocodile. It has the head of an emu with a long beak extending outward, flanked by powerful muscular jaws. Inside is a serrated mouth resembling the bones of a stingray. Its body and limbs resemble that of a crocodile. The hind legs are thick and powerful, while the front legs, though longer, remain terrifyingly strong. Its claws are long and curved like daggers. Aboriginal people believed that the only way to kill a bunyip was to wrestle it to the ground and hold it there until it died. In water, it moves like a frog, smooth, quick, silent, but when it rises from the depths, its head lifted high and massive frame towering above the earth, it can reach over 12 feet tall. The bunyip isn't just a myth, it's a silent predator, waiting beneath still waters, watching, listening, and perhaps waiting to strike. 7. Sigbin, the shadow drinker of the Philippines. From the shadowy corners of rural Philippines comes a creature that defies logic and chills the soul, the Sigbin. According to local legend, this night-dwelling entity doesn't drink blood the way most predators do. Instead, it drains it from your shadow, a sinister method that allows it to remain hidden from the eyes of humans and other creatures. The Sigbin is said to walk backward, its head hanging low between its hind legs, moving with an unnatural, crouched posture as if stalking prey in silence. It is believed to possess the power of invisibility, making it nearly impossible to detect until it's far too late. Its appearance is described as something between the familiar and the grotesque. A hornless goat with oversized ears that flap like human hands and a whip-like tail that can snap with deadly force. Witnesses say the creature emits a foul stench so intense it turns the stomach of anyone unfortunate enough to be nearby. But the most terrifying part? The Sigbin is rumored to roam the night in search of children, devouring them whole before disappearing back into the darkness. In 2005, scientists on the island of Borneo discovered a mysterious carnivorous mammal, fox-like in appearance, with hind legs longer than the front, an awkward gait, and a disturbingly deformed body. Some speculated it might be a real-life Sigbin, but no definitive conclusion was ever reached. The Sigbin remains a legend, a whisper, a warning. But ask yourself this: if it drinks from your shadow, are you ever truly safe, even in the light? Remate, the Canvey Island Monster, a deep-sea horror washed ashore. In October 1954, on the remote shores of Canvey Island, England, something strange washed ashore, a creature no one had seen before. No name seemed to fit, so locals gave it one that would echo in whispers: the Canvey Island Monster. The first specimen measured about 76 centimeters, 30 inches long. It had thick, reddish-brown skin, bulging eyes, and, most unnervingly, gills. The creature had no front limbs, but its long hind legs ended in 5 curved horseshoe-like toes, suggesting a bizarre form of bipedal movement. After only a brief examination, scientists concluded it could pose a threat to humans. Without further study, the body was cremated, a decision still questioned to this day. But the story didn't end there. In August 1955, a second creature washed ashore, this time larger and more intact. It stood 1.2 meters tall, nearly 4 feet, and weighed over 11 kilograms, 25 pounds. The body was fresh, with glowing red eyes, nostril openings, and sharp tooth-lined jaws that suggested predatory behavior. It was a rare opportunity for scientific research, yet strangely, no official records were ever released, and the second body vanished without a trace. What was the Canvey Island Monster? A previously undiscovered aquatic species? A mutant? Or something even more unthinkable, dragged in from the black depths of the sea? 9. The Pope Lick Monster, the demon guardian of the Death Bridge. Lurking beneath an old railroad trestle in Louisville, Kentucky, a grotesque half-man, half-goat creature has haunted local legends for decades. Locals know it by a name that sends chills down the spine: the Pope Lick Monster. According to most accounts, this terrifying being has the muscular upper body of a man, but from the waist down, it bears the hairy, hoofed legs of a wild goat. Its face is pale and gaunt, with a hooked nose, eyes that glow in the dark, and 2 short, razor-sharp horns that protrude from beneath a tangled mane of hair, the same color as its rough fur. Its origin is a mystery, but its methods of attack are the stuff of nightmares. Some say the Pope Lick Monster has the power of hypnosis or mimics human voices, luring victims toward the railroad tracks, only to freeze them in place moments before an oncoming train seals their fate. Others swear they've seen it leap from the bridge onto moving cars, smashing through windshields and dragging victims away into the night. Some even claim it wields a blood-stained axe, waiting in silence for those foolish enough to cross its domain. Is the Pope Lick Monster a mere urban legend, or is it a dark entity guarding the bridge, hiding in the shadows, waiting to strike when no one is watching? 10. The Goatman, a savage shadow between myth and murder. It's more than just a creature, it's an embodiment of fear. The Goatman is a terrifying fusion of human and beast, with twisted horns, razor-sharp claws, and a body cloaked in coarse, matted fur. Its grotesque appearance resembles the satyr of Greek mythology, a woodland god of old. But this monster is no myth. Many eyewitnesses claim the Goatman is not born from folklore or legend, but a real, bloodthirsty predator stalking the edge of civilization. The first known sighting was in 1957 in the wooded areas of Forestville and Upper Marlboro, Prince George's County, Maryland. Witnesses reported a hairy, horned creature lurking in the shadows, intelligent, muscular, and seething with rage. But the horror didn't end with sightings. In the summer of 1962, the Goatman was accused of committing one of the most gruesome massacres in local history, allegedly killing 14 people, including 12 children and 2 adults, who were hiking near a cave believed to be its lair. Some survivors escaped, barely. Their bodies were slashed, torn apart, left unrecognizable, as if mauled by something far more brutal than any wild animal. They described a relentless attack, the Goatman bursting from the forest, swinging a blood-soaked axe, and screaming a ghastly, inhuman cry that echoed through the trees like a banshee's wail. So what is the Goatman? A genetic mutation? A demon in disguise? Or proof that something ancient and violent still walks among us, watching, waiting, ready to strike again? 11. Chupacabra, the blood-draining nightmare of foggy farms. To many, the name Chupacabra may sound unfamiliar, but to the farmers of the Caribbean, especially in Puerto Rico, it is a silent predator that has haunted their nights for decades. First whispers of the creature emerged in the 1970s, but it wasn't until the mid-1990s that the legend exploded into the public eye. The name Chupacabra, which translates to goatsucker, became infamous as reports poured in. Livestock, ducks, chickens, rabbits, and goats found dead across rural farms, their bodies untouched, but completely drained of blood. Witnesses describe the Chupacabra as roughly the size of a chimpanzee, leaping with the agility of a kangaroo. Its eyes are massive, glowing red, and its skin is a mottled gray, rough and scaly like stone. Its arms are covered in thick fur, with fangs as sharp as razors, and most disturbingly, it possesses a long, forked tongue like a serpent's. Some accounts even claim the creature has wings, allowing it to glide across open fields like a phantom, striking in silence and vanishing without a trace, leaving behind nothing but lifeless, bloodless corpses. What is the Chupacabra? A mutant experiment? An alien predator left behind? Or a living warning that some creatures don't need to exist in legend, they're already here, hunting? 12. The Jersey Devil, the winged nightmare of America's pine forests. In the early 20th century, deep within the desolate Pine Barrens of New Jersey, whispers began to spread about a terrifying creature, the Jersey Devil. More than a monster, it was said to be an omen of death, appearing during times of war, disaster, and sorrow. Over 2,000 Americans have claimed to encounter this beast, a distorted fusion of predator and nightmare. It stands just over 3 feet tall, with a gaunt body and a canine-like head, yet its face carries a strange, sickly resemblance to a dying horse. Its eyes are sunken and dark, its neck unnaturally long and twisted, as though it came from another dimension. But the most haunting feature is its bat-like wings, stretching nearly 2 feet wide, slicing through the air with a screech that freezes the blood. Locals say that when the Jersey Devil appears, the forest goes silent. Birds stop singing, the wind dies down, and even the trees seem to hold their breath. No one knows for sure what the Jersey Devil is. A cursed soul? A supernatural entity? Or something far older, born from a place humans were never meant to explore. 13. Mothman, the winged harbinger of doom. From November 1966 to late 1967, the skies over southern West Virginia were filled with fear. For 13 straight months, hundreds of terrified witnesses claimed to see a strange winged humanoid lurking in the darkness, a creature that would become infamous across America, Mothman. This eerie figure was described as standing over 7 feet tall, with a body covered in gray, reptilian scales and wings stretching more than 10 feet wide. When it spread those wings, it seemed to swallow the sky itself. But its most terrifying feature? 2 glowing red eyes, large, hypnotic, and burning like coals in the night. Those who made eye contact said it left them dazed, paralyzed, and consumed by fear. But Mothman wasn't just frightening in appearance. It moved with astonishing speed, flying at over 100 miles per hour, gliding over treetops, rooftops, and highways in complete silence. Witnesses even claimed that its piercing screech could disrupt radio and television signals, as if the creature warped reality around it. Many believe that Mothman is more than just a cryptid, it's a harbinger of disaster. Just weeks after a wave of sightings, the Silver Bridge, which connected West Virginia and Ohio, collapsed without warning, killing 46 people in a horrifying tragedy. So what is Mothman? A supernatural messenger? A dark omen sent to warn us? Or something ancient that emerges only when doom is near? We've journeyed through mist-covered swamps, haunted forests, crumbling bridges, and fog-drenched shores to face creatures that science still cannot explain. From ancient legends whispered through generations to modern-day encounters caught in trembling hands and blurred photos, each one forces us to ask, are these creatures real? Or are they born from fear, folklore, and the darkest corners of the human mind? Whether you believe or not, there are still doors that have never been opened, still shadows that have never been explored. And sometimes, all it takes is one noise in the night to make you wonder, is something watching me from the dark? If this sent chills down your spine and stirred your curiosity, like the video, share it with fellow seekers of the unknown, and subscribe to World Mysteries for more eerie tales, strange sightings, and the questions no one dares to answer. Which creature do you believe might actually exist? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and who knows, you might be the one who uncovers the next terrifying truth.